So this video is entitled, Can You Trust the Gardener? So I received an email this week in my inbox which gave me a link to a recent survey by the Consumer Advice Group, which I'm sure many of you have heard of. And it was all about which tradespeople do consumers trust the most and which tradespeople do consumers trust the least. And they had asked around 1,500 of their subscribers to rate a series of trades on how much they trust them. And I thought it would be really interesting to see where the gardeners fit against other trades in terms of how much they're trusted. So they gave a list of 13 different tradespeople and rated the best against the worst. Coming in bottom with only 48% of consumers trusting them is the poor old roofers. Obviously people have got something against roofers for some reason, I don't know. So they came in 13th, followed closely by people who work with drains and cleaning sewers. It's a shit job and obviously it doesn't instill a lot of trust. And at number 11 with 53% was the humble builder. A hugely skilled trade, but obviously not installing a lot of trust. So now we get into the top 10, so hopefully gardeners are within the top 10. At 10 was kitchen fitters, receiving 58% satisfaction amongst consumers. At number 9 it was the tiler, receiving 61%. At number 8, surprised me a little with this, was mechanics with 64%. We have this notion that when you take a car to a garage that mechanics are somehow untrustworthy. I don't know where this has come from, it just exists with no huge basis in reality. So mechanics are at number 8. At number 7 with 65% is glaziers. At number 6 with 68% is plasterers. We are coming now to the top 5% of the most trusted trades, and with 70% consumer satisfaction is the decorators. Okay, so number 5, decorators. Number 4 with 72% is the chippy, the carpenter. Very well trusted amongst consumers on average. Top 3, I was getting excited. At number 3, with 73% customer satisfaction, was the plumber. Number 2, 75% consumer satisfaction, central heating engineers. Central heating engineers, number 2 in the most trustworthy trade. So, who was number 1 out of those 13 different trades in the most trustworthy trade category? With 80%, so 8 out of 10 consumers would have kind of immediate trust in this trade person. Was it us? No, it was the electrician. We didn't even feature. The gardeners, the landscapers, and all of those trades, we didn't even feature. Now I don't know whether we weren't asked or whether we were just ignored, but that to me was hugely telling. In all those different trades, gardeners or landscapers just didn't exist. We didn't exist. This is a problem. and I don't quite know what we do about it. If you work in the trade as a gardener, you will know just how much you need to know in order to perform our job correctly and well. It's not about just cutting grass or cutting hedges. It's not all menial tasks. There is an aspect of that. But being a good gardener is about understanding science, the science of plants. It's about understanding soil, the weather, the climate. You've got to have an eye for design. You've got to understand plants and how they grow and how they interact with one another, how they perform, so you can maximise the space that people have got. You've got to know about pruning, how, when, why, how a plant will recover. You've got to know the names, thousands and thousands of plants and names and Latin names. You've got to be physically on top of your game. You've got to invest in top quality equipment to be able to provide a professional service. You really have to invest in yourself and your business. I've been in gardening now full time for about 11 years. I love it. It's what I do, and I've built up a lot of knowledge, but some days you're out there and you feel like a complete novice, because there is so much to learn and to know, and such a skill to develop to do the job. Not running down other trades, but compared to maybe a painter and decorator, what we have to know in order to do our job well, in comparison to a painter or a plumber or whatever, is worlds apart. And it's really, really telling to know that in this particular list we were not even considered worthy of a mention. And for any guys or girls who are thinking of getting into this industry, and something that you're going to have to be aware of, the public perception of what we do often is different from our own. Many will see us as skilled people, which we are. Many will see us as unskilled. And there are a lot of unskilled people out there doing our job, which is a problem which is never going to go away. And we can't bitch, we can't moan, we can't complain about this. It's up to us to big ourselves up and really show off what we do. And the question is, how do you go about doing that? And I don't know. I've got some ideas, and maybe you've got some ideas which you can share in the comment section. But it's about valuing what you do. It's about knowing that to do this job and to do it well is a skill. And it's a skill that is in demand. So value yourself. I would say we have a big image problem, and we need to up our game in that. You only need to drive around and look at some of the people that are offering garden services, and it's not great. If this is your business, if this is your livelihood, we need to make ourselves appear in the best possible light in every way. Every time you communicate with a customer, it needs to be tip top. That's how you speak to them, how you present yourself, how you write your invoices and your quotes, how you communicate has got to be better. And I include myself in this, or else we're forever going to be scratching around the bottom. One thing that I think is really helping our industry is the access to trade associations and online networks. So, key people that I would think about joining are the Landscape Juice Network, which is a huge resource of knowledge with some really experienced guys on there. It's not a trade association, but in terms of if you want to learn about how to build a business well and pricing and how you deal with customers, it's invaluable. I've learned so much from there. The other trade group that I would really recommend if you have a qualification and you do garden maintenance is the Gardeners Guild. You've got a yearly subscription of just shy of 50 quid, but is absolutely worth its weight in gold and is growing in its stature more and more. It's really trying to big up gardeners as a skilled profession. As I say, you need a horticultural qualification to be accepted there. It has a yearly subscription, but you get huge discounts on lots of different things, from insurance to clothing and tools. There is access to a great forum, and it's just a wealth of resource. But it's a shame. It's a shame not to even be included on this list. Now, I've had a look on the Which website, and it does recommend gardeners as part of their site, but quite why we weren't included on this list. And landscapers as well. I'm not a landscaper, but landscaping is a hugely skilled trade. It's not just about banging up a fence, it's patios and pathways and soil structure and drainage, and you need to really know what you're doing to do that. And it's a real shame that we weren't included anywhere on that list. So can you trust a gardener? We'll never know. Leave some comments below on what you think about us not being included in that list and what we need to do as people in this profession to try and improve what we do and establish ourselves more as a recognised trade.